Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dinet, and today we got another Euro Cup video. I'm also being joined by a very special guest, Alfredo Bonilla from Los Angeles, who is a sports expert. He's got a master's in sports management. He's also a sports journalist, and I think he's like the best person that we can get to discuss what's going to happen in the Euro Cup. So, without further ado, let's get into our talk with Alfredo. All right.
Hey, Dinette, how are you?
I'm good. How is Los Angeles?
It's good, it's good. Good weather, pretty nice. Obviously, the matches for the Euro are going to be a little bit early for me. First matches are going to be like at 6 a.m., but that's a good way to start your day, obviously. So, pretty excited for this tournament, pretty excited for what's going to happen. So, let's get right into it.
6 a.m. Oh my gosh. Imagine if you're an England fan, you wake up and then it's already like 2-0 to Czech Republic and you just go back to bed thinking about the next World Cup.
Yeah, I know. It starts like that most of the time for England fans. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna go in depth about England because I know you're also an Arsenal fan, so you would know that some of the Arsenal players are playing for England. I mean, who else is there? Saka? Anyone else?
Yeah, from Arsenal, it's actually only Saka.
Wow.
But obviously, like there's a bunch of guys that could have as well made it. The thing about England is like their depth is unbelievable. You know, like Smith Rowe, for instance, he got a great tournament, a great Premier League last season. But again, like he's not quality or he's not fit right now for England just because he would be like, I don't know, let's say fourth or fifth in line for the midfield. So only Saka. I'm glad he made it, and I'm pretty sure he can probably be a good part of the squad, maybe coming in from the bench. We'll see what happens with him. But I mean, obviously the depth of England is terrific, and we'll have to see what happens if Arsenal can get a couple of more players for next big tournament, which will be Qatar, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think Saka's the only player who has scored a goal from open play in the friendlies for England. It's been a bit shaky, like both the games were 1-0.
No, that's a good point. And obviously, I guess this matches, this friendlies before the Euro, it's this perfect space for like being those, I don't know, getting creative and trying to figure out your starting lineup again. I don't think that Godfrey, for instance, or I don't know, like I don't think they're gonna start, to be honest. I see like a pretty much decent squad with let's say Mason Mount, let's say Ben Chilwell, like for obviously
the Champions League
very pivotal players for the Champions League. They haven't played that much because obviously they arrived later due to the final. But again, like Foden, Sterling and Kane up front, I pretty much see that the English lineup already. You'll have to see what happens at right back, maybe, or even left back, because obviously Luke Shaw had a great season as well, so he could actually be first behind Chilwell. So we'll have to see what happens on that line. And right back, obviously no Trent, but I'm guessing that there's a bunch of Kyle Walker, maybe even like you could play just three in the back and maybe a line of two big defensive right backs and Rhys James and on the other side Luke Shaw or Chilwell. So you have a bunch of options over there from Chelsea and Man City as well. So it's going to be pretty interesting, the England lineup for sure.
Moving away from England, do you have any other surprise teams in this Euro Cup that you would say to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch. Honestly, it's great to have more teams. It's going to be more open for sure. And if you look at the draw, I mean, there's one side of the draw, depending on obviously when they're of the position they end in their groups, there could definitely be a more open side. And you could have like a team, let's say like Poland on that side, or even Turkey, that could go easily to quarterfinals or even semifinals. I like dark horses, both of those teams. Like Turkey, I loved their game against Netherlands in Nations League a couple of months ago. I thought they were great, and they have a great combination of deadly strikers. Burak Yilmaz, obviously, he's a veteran, but he's coming off a great season with Lille, ex-French champions. And also, I love what's been going on, for instance, in Ukraine. I think that's a great team to have as well. Shevchenko has definitely steered the boat in the direction that they can go. Zinchenko is great. Malinovsky from Atalanta, what a great player as well. I think they have a great team as well. And maybe another team that could be interesting and it's not being talked that much is the Netherlands, just because they have not qualified for the last two big tournaments, no Euro 4 years ago and no no World Cup as well.
Right.
But it's interesting. Memphis Depay, a great season as well. Obviously, no Van Dijk, but I like Depay a bunch. I actually have a few dollars on Depay as goal
Of course.
scorer of the tournament.
I mean, he has been in prolific form in the warm-ups
Yeah.
as well, like in
Yeah.
the warm-up games. I have him in my
Those have
fantasy because I think he would be a game changer as well.
So
And
those
what,
are the teams that I think could be.
what about
surprising.
Scotland? Scotland has
Yeah, Scotland actually have it in
Yeah.
quarterfinals as well in my prediction, just because they can easily. I actually have them winning against Spain in the round of 16.
No way.
Yeah. I have Scotland advancing second in their group. I think
Wait,
they're
so,
going to be.
so you're saying like England and then Scotland?
Yeah, I'm saying England and Scotland. I like Scotland's first match because it's going to be in Hampden Park. And it's going to be against the Czech Republic, and I believe that that's going to be a great game to start for Scotland. I believe that they're going to be pretty hyped. Like Hampden Park is going to be, it's not going to be full capacity, but at least they're going to be fans.
Right. Yeah.
And Che Adams from Southampton, brilliant season as well. Ward-Prowse,
McTominay, Robertson.
Yeah, McTominay, Robertson, and my guy Kieran Tierney, baby.
Oh yeah.
To the Spain team, like if you compare it from the team that played at the Euro in France like 5 years ago, it's completely changed. Maybe you have Jordi Alba and maybe Busquets, but that's pretty much it. And Gerard Moreno, great season for Villarreal. Obviously, you have to see what happens with him. But Spain it's very intriguing. I mean, I see them actually not at the first of their group. I think it's second of their group. I have to check, but I don't see Spain that big of a team right now.
I agree. Without even especially no Ramos as well. That was a very shocking decision by the manager. But I mean, I don't have Spain that. I think they'll get to round of 16, but then I think they'll get knocked out by whichever team they play, even if it's like not that great.
I agree with that. For sure.
Yeah. Any players that you look forward to in this World Cup? I know you mentioned few in like Che Adams and a few others for smaller teams, but who do you think would be like the standout player?
So I like a couple of players from England, obviously, just because we've been watching a lot of Premier League and what they can do. Obviously, Saka. We spoke. I want to see what happens with England midfield, especially if Rice or Ward-Prowse are going to play in the back line. And
I think Ward-Prowse is not selected. Surprising decision.
Sorry. So Rice would be interesting there. I'd love obviously Bellingham from Borussia. It would be crazy. I was reading that if he plays even a minute, he's gonna break some records just because he's 17 years old.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty huge for them. And another team I like a bunch, and a lot of the players I like is Italy, for sure. Especially their back line is so aggressive, and you have a great mixture of young stars and obviously Chiellini there and Bonucci as well. So that's fantastic for them. Donnarumma, a great goalkeeper. It's very hard to score against Italy, to be honest. Like if you see the matches they've been playing all the time, it's hard for them to for the other teams to score. Like they are a clean sheet machine. So for me, like for instance in fantasy, getting a couple of Italy defenders would be a must. And up front, Insigne, Berardi, and my guy, which I believe can have a great tournament as well, is Chiesa from Juventus.
Chiesa,
he played fantastic for Juventus this season, all the season. So I think that he can thrive if he's given the chance, even Berardi or Insigne as well. So I like Italy a lot, and I think that they can make some noise. And again, Italy didn't qualify for Russia, so they have that, I don't know, like that vengeance, if you want to say, that they want to definitely perform. So I like Italy a lot as well, and I think that they can make a statement with that game against Turkey. It's going to be tough, but at least they can win, let's say 2-0 or something like that, and a good performance, and that can help Italy's aspirations to start well. So Italy and their youngsters, I like them a lot. There's some players I'm looking forward to, and others, as I said, like Malinovsky from Ukraine, I think has a great potential as well. Maybe you can even add some other players from Portugal. Obviously, Joao Felix, big stage for him to see if he's going to perform and be like for sure the star that we're hoping for him to be. So some young players definitely, but I think that this is a great Euro because it's like giving that combination of great talent and obviously athletes that are performing already there in the big stage. Like obviously you have Ronaldo and even Harry Kane, who was the goal scorer for Russia. at Russia. Sorry. So and a lot of youngsters combination. So it's gonna be like mature players combined with young players in a great stage. So it should be fun.
I'm more interested in players like Foden. I think Foden, coming
Mhm.
off Champions League final loss, might want to prove a bit more, like with England squad, that how what's his potential. I hate to say this, but even Marcus Rashford, I know he's going through an injury. He was going through an injury for like the past 2-3 months. As a United fan, I would want him not to play in the Euro Cup and get the surgery done so
Okay.
he can be
Mhm.
fresh for the season. But at the same time, let's say if for example, if England win the World Cup, I mean, sorry, the Euro Cup, I would not want to see Rashford miss out on being in that squad and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm really hoping Rashford would step up because I do believe that he can perform to a higher level than what Wayne Rooney did for England. Because I know that people always criticize Wayne Rooney, even though he's like the top scorer for them, that he didn't perform in the big tournament. So I'm hoping that Rashford could step up and, like, be like one of the main men that no one's talking about, but he can light up the stage if he wants to. Even Jack Grealish, he was amazing against Romania, and there was a good link up play between him, Rashford, Sancho, Luke Shaw, all hopefully United players next season. But yeah, it was good to see like these players working together in the England squad. I think even like you mentioned, Italy and Netherlands, both the teams I feel would reach semifinals. I have them in semifinals. I know that not that many people are counting on them, but I think that they genuinely can do it. France has a very similar squad, so I mean we can't pick them because they already won the World Cup. Their squad is pretty much 70% the same, apart from adding Karim Benzema, who could have a good tournament as well.
Mhm.
He's finally back in the French squad. He had a good season with Real Madrid, so he'll be trying to utilize that form in the tournament. Coming to your fantasy team that you mentioned earlier, who have you got? What tips do you have? That you like you mentioned Italian defenders would be a good shout, but who else is there in your team?
Yeah, so Italian defenders are a must, and also Donnarumma. I think his price is actually pretty decent. It's 5-5, so I think it's accessible price there, and you can maybe get some other cheap defender that's cheap goalkeeper like Tim Krul, for instance, from
Oh, he's
Netherlands.
still
That
playing for Netherlands. Is he still
yeah,
called up
yeah,
for Netherlands?
yeah. And
No way.
I mean, I don't know if he's gonna start, but that's my two current goalkeepers.
He'll come on for
Donnarumma.
those penalty shootouts.
Yeah, I know. So I got a couple of other players. Like, for instance, I was checking out like the first game week, and it's pretty decent to have players from Portugal because they're gonna play against Hungary at the first.
Right, yeah.
So you gotta have maybe Ronaldo there, or maybe Joao Felix, and maybe a defender. Pepe could be the more secure one, or even you could go with Rui Patricio as well if you want. Maybe you can have a defender from Belgium as well because the group is pretty easily. Maybe you could have Meunier, or we'll have to see if Castagne plays because both of them are like right backs as well. As I said, Ben Chilwell, I have it on my team, but I might change him for Luke Shaw just because I don't know who of them is going to start. And some Italian midfielders as well. I have Insigne, and I have Berardi, but I probably will just have one of them. I'll have to maybe take a look at that. And up front, I have Lukaku, which is for me a must.
Yeah.
Depay and Lewandowski, because I believe that if Poland's going to do something and I have them advancing to quarterfinals, it's going to be because of Lewandowski and his goal scoring machine. Everybody knows that. And he has scored some good goals for Poland as well. So again, like the other side of the draw, which is the easiest part, I have Poland in that part. So that's why I think Lewandowski can easily score a couple of goals. And if you see, they're going to play Slovakia and Sweden, and both of them are pretty much easy to concede. They don't have like that much, and even Spain, which is in the group as well. Like Spain doesn't have, as you said, like Sergio Ramos, and experienced guys in the back. So easily you can have Lewandowski scoring in those 3 match days. So Lewandowski is maybe someone not many people are looking. I actually don't have anyone from France right now in my team, which is huge. I don't have Mbappe or Griezmann or even Benzema, but I like having Lewandowski in my team. I don't know why. I think he's great, and maybe I need to put someone from Ukraine, as I said, and maybe someone from Scotland as well. So maybe check out either Malinovsky or maybe John McGinn, which is great as well.
McGinn, yeah.
And they are not too pricey. So maybe those are dark horses to maybe have. So I'll maybe even someone from Sweden as well, like Forsberg. I don't know. He played good. He played pretty good in Red Bull Leipzig.
I forgot there was a player for Sweden, the striker. I think he had a very good season in his league. I forgot his name, but apparently people were saying he's like a potential.
Yeah, I think Alexander Isak. And
Yeah, I think
he was
him.
that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
as well.
because he's gonna be the goal striker for Sweden. No, Zlatan.
Yeah.
So
And,
yeah, he might be interesting as well. Of course, I was thinking of Pukki as well because
Oh yeah,
in Finland, but Finland is
they don't have Buendia and Cantwell.
No. And Finland has a very very tough game. The other recommendation I have, Alioski.
Alioski from
Because
even the striker Pandev. I think he's still.
Yeah, because I mean,
Good
I don't
touch.
think Macedonia is gonna do much,
No,
but
yeah.
they do have a couple of good players. And Alioski, for instance, is very cheap and he takes penalties. So
Oh,
watch
is he?
out for that. Yeah, he's the
Oh,
penalty
okay.
taker for for the team. So that could be interesting as well.
Anyways, let's get to your prediction. I know you mentioned few teams will be in quarterfinals and semifinals. Now I have your tournament tree up here.
Mhm.
Okay, and surprisingly, one team that struck up was Turkey in semifinals. I know you mentioned it a bit, but semifinals?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, it came with a decision from my heart. Just again, I don't have any praise for Turkey in my fantasy, so I'm like, like kicking myself in the foot by not doing that. But again, like I feel that they are on a favorable side of the draw, and they could easily make a good game against Netherlands in quarterfinals if they meet. Maybe a tight game and even go to extra time or penalties. And again, I like the Burak Yilmaz and a couple of other, like Under, for instance, is a great player as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like Turkey in Euros, something happens all the time. Remember against Czech Republic?
Oh yeah,
and
that's
against
crazy
Croatia.
extra time game. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I feel that I went with my gut in that way. I'm not sure if they will actually make it to the semifinals or not, but interesting. I think they could easily get in their group and maybe you see what happens.
You also got England in the final.
Yeah, again,
I'm
as I
happy
said,
but surprised.
yeah, no, I mean it's again they would be on that side of the draw, so that's why I did it. And I don't think if they meet Germany, it's a classic scenario where England would lose that game against Germany. Like all the time, England would lose against Germany.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to beat Germany, a team that we hadn't even discussed yet. So we'll see what happens. Maybe if they can beat Germany, they for sure are gonna go to the final because they will beat Poland and then it will be Turkey for sure. But again, like I'm just going with the fact that they have a great blend of young players, and we've seen what they did in Russia and what they did in obviously qualifying for this Euro. So they're strong, and if they're mentally prepared to beat Germany, they can go all the way easily.
And speaking about Germany, I mean, yeah, it's not the same. I mean, they lost heavily to Spain 6-1 or 6-0 before, and then they lost to Macedonia 2-1 recently.
Yeah,
I don't see Germany to do that well. I have them third in the group of death as well. I mean, and I know we have Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, like Champions League winners, but I still think that Germany before, like let's say like 4 years ago, before the World Cup, they peaked that the golden generation peaked with Royce and Götze, Schweinsteiger, Lahm, and all these guys, Hummels. Now they are not the same team. I mean I don't know. I could be completely proven wrong, but I don't think this is like I would give them like a B rating for their whole squad because I don't think they're that top level yet.
Yeah, no, me too. And it's a bit confirmed that obviously Joachim Low is not going to be more the manager. So, I mean, it could go either way. Like Germany has a very bad tournament, similar to Russia, where they wouldn't even stepped out of the group stage and they're done. And Joachim Low is roasted, but he doesn't care because he's leaving.
Yeah.
Or surprisingly enough, they actually make a great tournament and Joachim Low says bye, like, I don't know, getting to the semifinals or even getting to the final. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, Germany, I believe it's like flipping a coin, and if you get the good side, you never know what's going to happen with them. And maybe there's still a pretty good, nice mixture. I believe, like, for instance, Kai Havertz, he's performing pretty good. Obviously, Champions League goal there in the final, and maybe the fact that he is looking forward to maybe playing alongside Timo Werner and maybe some of his old teammates as well. It's going to be nice. Gundogan, great season with City, and maybe even Toni Kroos there. So again, like, you cannot obviously count them out.
Yeah.
As Gary Lineker would say, football is a game of 22 players where Germany always win. Yeah. So again, you cannot do that with the Germans. You never know. But yeah, they could easily, I don't know, concede some few goals against England in that round of 16 match, and then England goes all the way.
Wow, interesting. And then let's talk about the final. According to you, would be Belgium versus England. It would be heartbreaking to see England reach all the way there and then lose to Belgium 3 times in a row in a major tournament. They lost twice again in the World Cup. I don't know. I mean, most of the Belgian teammates, like players, have actually played in Premier League. So I would hope that if any team that England plays in the final would be Belgium, because most of the players would have played against them in some way or the other. Because like Yuri Tillmans, Lukaku has played quite a lot in England. Hazard.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Belgium, I think they arrive not that in that good shape. I think they arrived better to the World Cup for sure. Like to the World Cup, Hazard was playing great. Lukaku was playing great. Especially De Bruyne was playing great. And I think that their back line was playing even better, like with Vertonghen and even I remember. I don't remember the name. So yeah, but they were playing pretty better, decent football for the Axel Witsel for the for the World Cup. So I believe that they actually don't arrive that well for this tournament. But again, like my prediction is just because the fact that it's now or never. I don't believe that they're gonna win the World Cup. So it's this tournament or they're done. Like that generation is done. Like the Hazard, the De Bruyne, the Lukaku's, the Mertens. That generation needs to be working right now. Otherwise, they won't make it or they won't win anything. So I'm just saying, okay, it's prove me wrong, you know. That's why I did it. And again, it's gonna be tough for them because again, that game against Italy, if they meet in the quarterfinals, could go either way. And that game against France could go either way as well. It
was very close in the World Cup, but I think it was the corner kick or something.
Exactly. So it really depends if De Bruyne recovers from his injury as well. They don't need him for the first game against Russia. They don't need him there. They might need. I don't think they need De Bruyne for the
group status. To be honest, yeah.
They might just play without him, and then he can start very well rested for the round of 16, and then if he plays good football and if they're like concentrated enough. I see Belgium like giving real trouble to anyone, and in a final in Wembley against England could easily go either way. But yeah, I would rather see Belgium like and those generations because the England team is so young. You know, the England team easily like the same team for Euros right now can be exactly the same team for
the World Cup.
The World Cup. Maybe no Henderson, but that's pretty much it. The team from England is a little bit more younger than the team from Belgium. So I like more the chances of Belgium doing that, but it's up for anyone, to be honest. I don't see France winning, which is the favorite right now. I just don't. I mean, they've done it before. They won the World Cup in '98 and then Euro in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
They've done it like exactly the same circumstance, but I don't know. It's too much hype right now for France. Portugal, I have them like losing against Netherlands in round of 16. Again, for me, Portugal and France are two teams that are pretty much being too hyped.
Yeah, agreed.
And when that happens, I don't like that. And they're actually in the same group, so it's going to be tough. And with Germany in that group as well. So imagine Germany beating them easily. I mean, not easily, but just beating them. Then everyone's going to say, so now what happens with France and with Portugal? Obviously, the three of them are going to beat Hungary, or we're hoping that happens, and they advance.
Supposed to be beating Hungary, like all three of them.
Exactly. So again, like remember, Portugal won the Euro 5 years ago with them being third in the group.
Yeah.
So anything can happen, and obviously last Euro was crazy. You got Iceland in quarterfinals, you got Wales in semifinals, you got Poland in quarterfinals. So again, anything can happen there. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting for sure.
I mean, I like your tournament tree, like especially having Scotland, Poland, and Turkey in quarterfinals. I mean, it could go. I mean, you're absolutely right. Euros have always been full of surprise that things don't happen the way it predicts. Like you mentioned, Czech Republic was a Turkey semi-final. Was it semi-final? Yeah, like it usually doesn't happen that way. There's always a surprise. Iceland beat England in one of the Euros. They knocked them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking forward to it this weekend. Yeah, it's this weekend, right? Yeah, this is the weekend.
Yeah, on Friday. On Friday, Italy starts against Turkey. That's That's the first match. Should be interesting enough. There are going to be some very tight matches. I see plenty of 1-0 games, very tight games. Especially as I said, like for instance, like that first game, Turkey Italy, it could easily be like a 1-0 game and that's it. And some teams have great defenses as well. Obviously, that group, like the Germany, Portugal, and France group, it's going to be interesting. But again, like England's going to be hard to score against them. Italy is going to be hard to score against them.
I think England wouldn't be that hard. If Maguire's not fit, I feel.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. Like some matches are going to be tight. Like I don't know. It's going to be Scotland. I do believe that they get out the group easily because I don't see
That's
that.
a good shot, but yeah.
Yeah, and watch out for Ukraine and watch out for Poland. That's some teams that can do some interesting thing as well.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining, Alfredo. It was so nice to talk to you and get your insights. Do check out our fantasy league. I'll put a link down below. Join us and play with us. We're not going to be giving any cash prizes, but do have fun with us. But yeah, thank you so much, Alfredo. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah, my guy. Oh, absolutely. A pleasure as well. And we will be chatting as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, and also, do you want to plug your podcast for the Spanish viewers or something?
Yeah, sure. So it's a sports betting podcast that we do 3 times a week. It's pretty cool. I'll give you the link and you can put it down.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the description.
It's if you know Spanish, you can follow us, and it's good recommendations. Obviously, we're doing a huge Euro Cup special this Friday.
Nice.
And Copa America as well. So we'll be more than active throughout the whole season, the whole tournaments, I should say. Both Copa America and both Euro Cup should be pretty fun.
All right, cool. Thank you, Alfredo, and thank you guys so much for joining us. And I'll see you guys later in the next video. All right, bye.